Hello, friends, and welcome to today's new episode of New Gameplay Today. I am your host, Alex Stadnick. Joined with me, two of the biggest baseball fans we have in the Game Informer office, Brian Shea and Matthew Kato. Gentlemen, how are you?
How's it going?
I'm doing well.
Good. I'm sad this isn't real life, but what are we playing today, Mr. Kato?
This is Super Mega Baseball 3, so it's obviously the third iteration, but they're not a year-to-year franchise, so it's been a few years. That's enabled the team to put in a bunch of new additions this year.
I gotcha. When was the last one that came out?
I want to say that was 2 years ago, maybe a little over 2 years ago, two or three.
It's been a little bit. So since there's no as of now anyway, there's no Major League Baseball game on Xbox One or Switch aside from, the beloved RBI baseball franchise.
So many feelings with that one.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, just awful. So this is the one that most players on those platforms gravitate towards. But they have announced that the MLB The Show series will be multi-platform in the future, but it's just, I think we're a couple years off from that. Yeah. So for now, this is what you get, but it's from all indications, it's a pretty solid game. How are you liking it so far, Kato?
Yeah, I really like it. I think you're right about it being very solid. And obviously, it's got kind of an arcadey look, and even some the pitching mechanic can be a little arcadey, and we can get into that.
Definitely.
But don't be fooled. It is, for baseball fans, I think it's definitely going to scratch that itch of not only a baseball game, but one that definitely tries to adhere to a lot of the fundamentals of the sport.
For sure. I had started off weak there, but I think I finished the inning strong.
Slash Trip steps to the plate.
I love some of these names, man. They're super great.
And you can customize all these names and teams and everything, right?
Yeah, that's right.
So if you want to go like Ken Griffey Jr. Major League Baseball, go crazy on that like I used to, and just replace all the players' names with real rosters. You're more than welcome to do that. I don't know if there's any roster share option, but
I don't think there's a roster share option, but there is a PC version, so I'd imagine people are going to get up to plenty of creative things on that platform.
I have no doubt.
I used to do that all the time with Ken Griffey Jr. Major League Baseball, and then when Blitz the League came out, you could customize the team names, the player names, everything. So I would actually do a lot of my favorite players and change the team names over to the NFL as well for that.
Yeah, and one of the things I was talking about as we were watching you bat here, certainly recognizing your pitches, obviously not getting behind in the count, and then sort of definitely on the pitching side, the mechanic is a little weird because it's you select your pitch, obviously you start it, and then you've got to match two reticles, one moving reticle. You got to match your reticle to a moving one, and there's a very granular, if you want, there is a granular difficulty system. So you could just bump up the batting, you can just bump up or down the pitching if that's what you want, or the fielding.
Yeah.
And so as you get the pitching, as you bump it up and you get more comfortable with it, you really have to, nail your marks. Otherwise, all of a sudden, your pitcher is stressed. He has no stamina left over. All of a sudden, now you're already dipping into your bullpen, and guys are getting on base and stuff. So it's definitely one of those things where you've got to pay attention to things, and you're not just, at least as the difficulty ramps up, you're not just throwing high heat all day long. Yeah. Just it's fun.
Was that last batter John Ranero? Almost like one letter away from John Romero?
I think so.
Very good. This isn't going so bad for you, Alex.
No, I'm playing much better than. And then I struck out.
Oh, very good.
I am playing better than when I was practicing earlier, which is usually the opposite of how these go. As someone who has no experience with this game, it definitely they do a good job kind of bringing you in and showing you the ropes. But it feels good. It's just fun. It just feels like a fun game.
Yeah. It looks like it scratches that arcadey baseball itch, which, is something that I've wanted ever since they announced the return of RBI baseball a few years ago. And unfortunately, that game just has not gotten to the point that it needs to be, especially several years into that franchise. So this seems like a perfectly adequate replacement for like those games like I was mentioning before, like the Ken Griffey Jr. Major League Baseball and stuff like that from yesteryear.
Yeah, and I was mentioning like pictures getting tense and stuff like that. So it takes definitely the customization. It takes the funny names and obviously the look of it. But it adds on, real life things you'd want. Like, maybe going into a game, one of your players, they're just fatigued. They're just, they have a medical problem or whatever. You have to switch them out. But then, going back in reverse, and again, kind of the flavor, style, and sort of comedy, angle, you can get in the franchise mode, you can get player development options. So you spend some money on it, you get it, and it might be literally like, this player's, been watching a lot of VHS tapes on their couch, and they're just, they're getting better or they're getting worse. And so there's little things like little flavor things like that, which definitely make it a little different. But again, like I was saying, when you're playing it, the guys may kind of run kind of funny or whatever and things like that, but it really does give you the outcomes that you'd expect depending on, did I slice it off the bat? Did the guy really, did he have the speed to really, get into that gap, make a dive and stop the ball and get up and recover and stuff. So, there are some small things you're like, I thought I should have turned that double play. I thought I should have got that guy out. Those sort of normal things. But other than that, it doesn't really, the gameplay experience runs and gives you the outcomes you'd expect.
For sure.
I'm loving the ads on the backstop there. Snowboarding addiction treatment and local airlines.
Yeah. Really went for it. Now, how would you say, and maybe you've touched on this a little bit, but how else would you say this is improved from the previous games in the series?
Well, they added some kind of fundamental baseball things. I think, there's like the drop third strike. And I believe there's also some more sort of nuanced runner controls. So you're not just controlling all the runners around the base at the same time. It gets more granular in being able to send, certain runners at certain bases and things like that, which definitely helps. And then there's just some other just sort of small rules, things that I think baseball players definitely would expect and they'll be welcome, seeing as they weren't in the last game. So that definitely, kind of brings it up again to what people would expect.
Definitely.
Now, obviously, it's not, the budget behind it, and Metalhead Software is the developer. Obviously, they love baseball, but it's, they don't have the resources that, Sony internal studio like 989 has. But they've also done a lot of things like it's a very co-op, couch and online play friendly. You can play co-op through pretty much all the modes, including co-op franchise and stuff. So
cool.
Although they, again, it doesn't have every feature under the book. It does have online multiplayer, by the way. Although it doesn't have every single thing you're going to want, they've gone out of their way to really put their stamp on it, which is cool.
Nice.
I really like the old school call out of 989 instead of Sony San Diego. Okay, yeah, sorry. Sorry about any of our friends over at San Diego studio. Trust me, I play your product, so that was just a lapse, just the amount of time vortex. Well, 989 is just old school Sony sports developer.
Yeah. I was just playing Game Day the other day, and just
PlayStation 5 launch title, NFL Game Day. Can you imagine if that was like the big announcement for PlayStation 5 is the return of NFL Game Day? And then just dropping the show from the title, so it just goes back to like MLB 97 or how they used to do it like that.
That would be awesome.
I know I'm playing on an easier difficulty, but I should have gotten out a couple of times in those moments. I just haven't. So it's good for everyone.
Yeah, so, and with the difficulty, by the way, you can also set it so you have two different ones. So if I want to play on a difficulty for me and you want to play on difficulty for you, and again, that's broken up between pitching, hitting, speed, and fielding, those four categories. You could do that, each one independently for each player. So if it's like someone has just trouble at hitting, you can tweak that and vice versa.
Are the games 9 innings?
Yeah, they can be. When you set up the league, you can set up things like innings per game as well as how many games a series is for the playoffs.
Yeah, I selected just 3 for exhibition, but
Understood.
yeah,
We don't want to sit here for a full 9-inning game.
no, you don't miss baseball that much.
I wish baseball was coming back, but not gonna lie, that's more of a passive thing for me to watch. Like, unless I'm at the stadium, like I usually will put it on a second device while I do something else.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Back when I bought like the season ticket or whatever MLB's thing is.
Yeah.
I bought like the team pass for the Orioles, which is my team, and I would always put it on a second screen while I played another game. So it was nice to monitor, but like, I don't know, in 2018 or whatever I did that, it was just too slow paced for me to like pay attention these days.
Oh, gotcha.
My attention span has just been destroyed thanks to social media.
God bless. Yeah, man, I miss nights at Target Field. But that's okay. Maybe one day it'll come back.
Nope.
Well, this has been a good look at the gameplay. Do you want me to go to some of the customization stuff? Alrighty, so now we're looking at the franchise mode, which can be found in the main menu here. Standard. Oh man, now this is where it gets tough. It's choosing the right squad here.
Platypi.
Platypi, good.
Okay. All right. Oh man, I love that. So yeah, you can set your season length here. They think 48 games is long. Try 162. Hey. Go medium there.
Yeah, so you can set up different leagues or different teams. I think this one's called like the Super Mega League, but there's also some other ones that bring in other teams. And then, you can do a lot of swapping in and out of teams, which is pretty cool. And also if you wanted to set up, the conference/division format, obviously DH. But it is pretty cool how you can just set everything up. And then even like you can fool around with the logos if you wanted to if you wanted to have that Platypi logo, if you wanted to have it straight across, not at an angle, or if you wanted to be tapered, just weird stuff like that. You can do, you can do all that kind of stuff too. So
okay. And then you can look at your roster and whatnot here.
Yeah, so as you were going down the list of players there, if you hit, I think it was like the right trigger over there on the right side, I think that brings in the edit player phase. So,
cool.
I've messed around with just like the pants and you can do the names or do whatever you want. So,
shout out to Replay, Butts.
Butts bacon.
Yeah.
I like it.
That's awesome. That gives a lot of versatility to this, I feel like.
Yeah, and like we've been saying, it just makes sense of the way everything looks and whatnot. You can obviously just ham it up with the players and stuff like that. And of course, there's like I think there's like a randomize all for the look and stuff, which is always everybody's favorite.
Cool. I like that his walk-up song is Bro. That's good.
They even include a team picture.
Oh, cool.
Go and just get it's just dumb, but it's cool.
Yeah. Makes it really feel like it's your own.
Yeah.
I like that.
Bull Nickerson.
Titus Potts.
Wait, Titus Potts. Okay.
Yeah. There it is.
So, obviously there's male and female players. And then one of the big things, obviously it's franchise mode, which is great. But one of the things I was alluding to before was like player development. And so through the season, you'll have some funds available to you, and you'll get these opportunities per player. So it's restricted to the player, but if you spend the money, you'll get pluses and sometimes minuses to the player, and then it will last sort of an inordinate amount of time. And it'll tell you like, okay, this particular development will only be available to buy for the next, it has a 30% chance that it'll last more than one game. So when you get it, it lasts, it's permanent, but the actual opportunity to buy it, that will go away and it'll cycle through different players. So
I see.
I've had a lot of times where I just save some money and then the playoffs are coming, and so I'll be like, you know what, I'm gonna spend, I've saved my money now, and I'm gonna spend it now on this, person who's a particular spot in the rotation or in my ace pitcher, or however you want to do it.
Yeah.
And then it's kind of cool because those development dollars are tied directly to how much you spend on your payroll. So you could do a thing where if you wanted to spend a lot, let's say on, rookie or young players who aren't very developed, you could then switch it then. So because you're not spending as much on your payroll, you're getting actually, you'd have more development dollars.
Okay.
Because you would have more money in your actual payroll sort of kitty, even though you're not spending it. And I've done other things too, where I've literally just spent all my money and just tried to have, B pluses up and down my roster and stuff like that. So that's kind of one of those cool things that it's not really, baseball per se, but it definitely fits in with, the style and the vibe of the game.
Yeah, definitely. And back there I couldn't buy anything yet. But here's the logo editor that you were talking about earlier. You can save yes or no, which is cool. I really like how customizable everything is. So
what's the team photo look like?
Team photo.
If you go back to there you go.
Hey,
look how happy everyone is.
Look at us.
Just not social distancing, playing games.
2 or 3 people with giant red beards.
Oh yeah.
There's a pennant race mode, which is an online deal, competitive deal, which obviously the game's not out yet, so people aren't really playing, but that's a huge deal. And like I said, there's co-op features up and down for franchise and for anybody who wants to jump in and play, which is really cool. And yeah, it's just a really fun game, and I think, like I said, as you move up the difficulty and you kind of find out, where the edge of your playing is, I think you're really going to have fun with, again, just the baseball basics and just, managing your bullpen and just getting a feel for the timing, for the hitting and, laying off the junk and all that kind of stuff. So it's, it looks different, but it definitely, has all the baseball fundamentals, which is nice.
Awesome. That sounds great.
Sky and evening.
Yeah. Get a little afternoon. Yeah, it's a beautiful thing. Well, gentlemen, thank you so much for joining me at this look at Super Mega Baseball 3. If you guys are interested in more information on it, are you doing a review, Kato?
I am. It will be up this week. I don't want to make any promises, but it should be up in a day or so or something like that. So
awesome. Sounds great. Well, thank you for joining us. And if you want to see more awesome video game content, keep it here at Game Informer's YouTube page and our website. Thanks. We'll see you guys later.
Shut up and let me listen to the game. Oh, pardon me. I was just brainstorming a really good comment. Subscribe to Game Informer's YouTube for new episodes of new gameplay today every single week. We are proud of them, and we have fun making them. Thanks!